Hi guys, good morning. Good morning. Trust you're all having a great day. So today we are going to talk about some of the things that kind of hinder us from getting closer to God. I was just recalling when I used to have like heavy trust issues, and from time to time I still do, and because of the environment I grew up in and certain things that happened as I was growing up. So I somehow have like serious trust issues, and eventually I directed that trust issues towards God in the sense of I found it very difficult to let go, to not be in control. I found it really, really difficult to trust God. So if God says, I'm the head and not the tail, I believe the scriptures, right? I didn't have a believing issue. I had like a trust issue. I believed that what God said was true. But when I face situations, right, that seemed to defy what God said, my heart would shake. And I often feel like, God, you said, but this is what I'm experiencing. Why are there inconsistencies? And because of so many other reasons, I found it difficult to believe what God was saying for my life. So the question is God trustworthy? Is God someone you can trust? Does he betray, do God betray his people? Like, do God betray people? Or can he fail? Right? Maybe God gave you a promise about that you are going to be really, really great, that he's going to bless you, lift you, prosper you, enlarge your coast. And you are 34. He said it when you were 12, when you were 13, right? And now you are 34 years old. So did God fail? Did God lie? Did God betray you? I know some of us now you are just thinking, and it's kind of like your story, right? And you are just reflecting upon, yes, it's true. There was a prophecy about my life that has not happened. So does it mean that God failed, or did God lie to me? Right? And how I find, or how I found relief, right, was basically studying scriptures, right? And I started discovering that whenever somebody gave names to God, like Jehovah Yahweh, Jehovah Nissi, Adonai, there were experiences those people had with God that made them name God that way. The Hebrews, a name of a thing is the character of a thing. So if they want to name a pig, they'll name a pig by the character of a pig, something that is smelly, something that is disgusting, so they call it swine, right? So the name of a thing is usually the nature of a thing. So when they called God Yahweh, they were simply expressing the name of the character of God that they experienced. So I started looking at what was consistent in scriptures, and this is what I found. There were certain people that walked with God. David, Abraham, people that God really, really loved. And you find something really, really consistent there. David wasn't a perfect man, so why did God love him so much? David slept with somebody's wife, killed somebody's husband. But why did God still say, I found David my servant? Why did God still love somebody that was deeply flawed? Why did God love Abraham? Abraham slept with his wife's maid. But why did God still love him? He wasn't the most... There was one time Abraham told his wife to lie to a certain king. So these were flawed people. But God did not take his faithfulness from those people because of their mistakes. I want you to understand. So when you read scriptures and you discover characters like that, of how those people, even though they were imperfect, even though they were humans, God did not abandon them. He did not fail them. Things like this give me courage. It gives me a sense of hope. And then I found this scripture I'm going to read with you guys. I think it's from Psalm chapter 89. Right? It said something, and I want you to read from verse 30 down, but I'm going to be reading from 33. But I will not take my love from him, nor will I betray my faithfulness. This is God's words. And we know that one thing about God is his words cannot fail, and God does not lie. He says, I will not take my love from him, nor will I betray my faithfulness. God was talking about David here. I will not violate my covenant or utter what my lips have uttered. Can you see what's happening here? Can you see what's happening here? Can you see what's happening here? God is saying he will not betray his words. So I want you to carry the scriptures. Go and find places, right? If you have fear, go and find places where God was saying he cannot, that you should not fear, that you should be bold and courageous, because it is not the nature of God. The enemy is trying to lie to you. My fear issue and my trust issues, right? The moment I found scripture and I started prophesying those things to my life, I found that it was easier to trust God, and it was step by step. So whenever I encounter a problem and I'm like, God, I'm stagnated, I'm stranded, this is not your will, this is not your word for my life, this is not what you said, this is not how I expect my life to be according to what I believe, right? And I take those things to God, right? And he shows me, he helps me by providing scriptures for me, right? Those things are the blessings, those things are the things that pull down those walls that have been built up over the years. So can you trust God? Is God faithful? Yes, God is faithful. And because he's leading you through a difficult path, doesn't mean that his faithfulness is from you. He said, even if you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, there's one guarantee there, is that he will be with you. So I want you to trust God. I want you to believe God, right? I want you to carry that doubt issue. Don't hide it. Don't be like, oh God, don't hide it. Take it to him and he will show you how. How do you take it to him? You pray about it. You pick his word and you study. So I'm looking forward to hearing amazing testimonies from you guys. And like always, have a blessed day. Ciao.